Hi, good evening. This is Manjit Rawat from Vincent Technology. I'm your online instructor. So, guys, in this particular tutorial, I'm just going to describe you much more related to the AWS load balancer services. So I'm just going to start discussion with these particular services, how we can utilize in real environment and how it can help us to manage the different services. So as per the name, if we're talking about the load balancer, it's a kinds of service that can help us to manage and control the traffic. Right? If you are facing a problem related to your website, means a number of hits are occurred on your web server, and unfortunately you are connected only one web server and you are getting a number of hits more than capacity of your server. So load balancer can help us to manage our website as well as the traffic over a web server, over a print server, over a database server, or any another services. Those services are taking much more hits on the single service, on the single machines. So I'm just going to describe one by one and step by step entire services related to the load balancer. So first thing is that what is load balancer? If we're talking about the load balancer, so it's a kinds of service that can give us option to control the traffic, manage the SSL certification, and it can give us a easily way to remove and add the server in the back end of load balancer. So this is the basic information is related to the LB, and next one is the requirement. If we're talking about the basic requirement to configure the load balancer. So as per our motto, we want to configure the load balancer over our AWS portal. So for the AWS portal, we should be create a minimum two instances. It may be Linux, it may be Windows. So if we talking about the basic requirement, so first step to create two different servers or instances over a AWS portal, and you should be attached port number 3389 if you are using the Windows, and port number 22 if you are using the Linux. And next, we also need to attach the port number 80 into the security group, those virtual machines you are creating. And third step is related to the connection. Firstly, you need to connect the RDP or SSH of your virtual machine that you created for the load balancer, and install the Ias service if you are using the Windows. Install the Apache if you are using the which one if you are using the Linux machine. So this is we have a two different way to configure the web services. One is the IIS and another is the Apache. Third one, you should be create a dummy website. Dummy website in the sense for our self identification, you should be create two web pages and put it into the both services, both instances. Third one, create load balancer and attach both virtual machine into the LB part. So this is the basic requirement. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The basic requirement is covered in 5 different steps. Third, we just try to discuss about the load balancer type, Amazon load balancer type. So Amazon can give us a three different option to create the load balancer. One is application load balancer, and second is TCP IP load balancer, and third one is the classic. So as per the name, application load balancer, those types of applications are running with the help of HTTP and HTTPS. For example, your application is running with the help of HTTP and HTTPS. So you should be configure the load balancer, application balancer, and TCP is basically transfer the data over a TCP/IP protocol. We know that these are all are the protocol that these protocol can help us to transfer the data from one resources to another resources or one location to another location. And third one is the classic. If we're talking about the classic load balancer, so it's a combination of application and TCP IP load balancer, because it can support the HTTP comma HTTPS comma TCP and IP as well. So the classic load balancer can support the entire protocol. Those protocols are used to transfer the data. So in this particular practical, in this particular video, I'm just going to describe you about the all activity in the practical format, in the live practical format. So let's start. So for this particular task, we need to open the portal. So I'm just going to click on the Browser, any browser, you need to open aws.amazon.com, and over at amazon.com you need to sign in your account, and after sign in your account you should be follow the requirement. I'm just going to use the steps that we have already mentioned in the text page. So first option, create two instances. So I'm just going to select the location of Oregon, and in the location of Oregon just need to click EC2, and in the EC2 we need to launch two different instances. So I'm just going to select Windows operating system. So you need to select a Windows operating system. I'm just going to select a free trial eligible. Next, see, this is the panel, configuration panel, configure instance. So as per the requirement, we need to create two instances. So you just type here two instance. Next, select the storage. No need to make any changes under the storage part. Just click next. Again, next. This is the security group, right? Launch wizard 6 is the security group, and by default it can give us a 3389 port, and I'm just going to add one more port, like as a port name is HTTP, and you should be make it anywhere, right? And just review and launch. Okay, I'm just going to use my existing key, and we know that it will be take up to 3 to 5 minutes to create the instances. I'm just going to put the name web server 1, okay, and another is web server 2. Fine, so we have a two different virtual machine. We can say we have a two different instances or servers we successfully created. We will be take the RDP of this machine, and after taking the RDP we will be install the another services that require to configure the load balancer. Like we are here, we created two instances, port add port 3389 and 80, and third step is to connect your virtual machine with the help of remote desktop protocol, right? After connecting our virtual machine, we will be install the Ias service because we are using the Windows operating system. Okay, fine. So it will be take up to 3 minutes to 4 minutes. And now till I'm just going to configure the RDP for the to connect to this particular machine. So this is the software, and with the help of this particular software we can connect our virtual machine from the AWS portal. Okay, so right now I have already created AWS Web 1. I'm just going to edit it because we need to copy the public IP. So it's our public IP of virtual machine 1, web server 1. Just paste here. Okay, and we need to just click on the connect, get password, choose file. For the to getting the password you need to configure, you need to select the demo pem. Okay, just decrypt, copy the password and open the RDP panel and paste here. Done. Like it, I'm just going to click on the second machine as well. So in the second machine we just need to click on machine and add it. Now this time I'm just going to copy the public IP of second machine, paste, and we need to configure the password. Okay, connect and get password, decrypt password, copy and paste here. Fine, just click close, and we need to wait. Okay, fine, both machines are ready to use. I'm just going to connect the virtual machine. First, web server 1. Okay, just click connect, continue. Now one machine is ready to use, and I'm just going to connect another machine as well. Just click on the web server 2, click start, and yes, we just want to make it continue. Fine, one machine is ready to use and another machine is connected. So right now we need to follow the third option. We completed first option, second option, third option, and now we need to, sorry, now we need connected RDP of our virtual machine, and next step install the IIS services. So in the IIS services, we need to open the server manager of which is available. Those options are available in server 2K8 and 2012 as well, and click role. Under the rule, we have an option to click add role. Whenever we just click on the add role, we need to click next and see in the bottom panel we have option web server. Click the web server and next, next, and install. Like that, I'm just going to open the web server manager of a second machine as well. You need to use the same procedure. Go to the roles and click on the add roles. Select the IIS services and click next again, next, and install. Once our IIS service is installed in our virtual machine, we will be move ourselves to create a one HTML file on both machines. Okay, now I think web server is almost ready. Yeah, installed successfully. So once your IIS service installed on the web server, you need to open the my computer, and after open the my computer, you need to configure the dummy website. Just click on the my computer, C drive, intpub, and www root, and select the IIS service open with notepad. Now I'm just going to click here and press type something like as a this is web server 1 and shape. In the second step, I'm like that, we need to open the my computer of second machine and click on the my computer. Again click C drive and intpub, open the www root and IIS service open with notepad to configure the IIS services. Means we just try to create our own identification under the HTML page. So you need to open the IIS with open with notepad, and in this particular server I'm just going to type this is web server 2. Okay, save the HTML file. Now both machine is ready to use. I'm just going to check it, the result, it is working or not. So you need to open the portal, and over a portal you need to copy the public IP and paste. This is web server 1, right? Like that, I'm just going to click on the second machine and copy and paste, and it can display this is web server 2. So now both servers are ready to use, but unfortunately we are able to access the servers by using the public IP, separate public IP. But as per the work of load balancer, I'm just going to describe it by using a graph. For example, you are configure a two different server, like as for example, this one is the web server 1 and web server 2, right? And each web server capacity is to handle 10,000 hit at a time. I'm just putting the name web 1, and another is web server 2, like that. So if we're talking about the capacity of hit, so one server can access up to 10,000 hit at a time, right? but unfortunately your website will become a popular. So more than 10,000 hits are occurred with your website. So to manage these types of traffic, you should be create a load balancer, right? After creating the load balancer, you need to attach your both machines with load balancer, and the load balancer can give us a one DNS address, right? And with the help of DNS load balancer, if we're talking about the DNS load balancer, by using the DNS load balancer, you can access the both machine one by one. DNS of LB, DNS of load balancer, right? So by using the DNS of load balancer, you can access your both servers, both web servers, by using the single language. And you should be use this particular DNS name, and attach it with directly to the domain, that domain you are purchased. For example, you are purchasing our domain with name of xyz.com. It's your domain name, www.xyz.com, right? So if we're talking about the real scenario, so it's a basically task that we need to perform in the real scenario with the help of Amazon Web Services and Amazon Load Balancer services, right? So I'm just going to show you the practical, and to understanding, I'm just configured different web pages like as web server 1 and web server 2 to recognize your data are coming from the web server 1 or web server 2. That is the reason I am just configuring a different files, web pages in, and put it into the different virtual machines. Okay, so I'm just going to configure the load balancer. Everything is okay. Our virtual machine is ready. Our website is running properly. But unfortunately, both machines are we can access the website separately. I want to make a single connection for the both machine. Means we just want to put our virtual machine into the load balancer. So you need to click on the EC2 dashboard, and over a EC2 dashboard, we have a one or more option available is called load balancer. So I'm just going to click on the load balancer, and over a load balancer, there are no load balancer available on the panel on the portal. So I'm just going to click create. Okay. So as per the theoretical description, per the uh, activity of in the theoretical part, we know that we have a three different option to configure the load balancer. We have a three different types to configure the load balancer. One is application load balancer, network load balancer, and last one is the classic load balancer. So application load balancer, choose an application load balancer when you need a flexible feature set for your web application with HTTP and HTTPS traffic. If your application, if your website are working over these types of protocol, so you should be configure the application load balancer, right? And next one is the traffic network load balancer. So choose network load balancer when you need ultra high performance, the ability to transmit TLS connect and scale the centralized certificate deployment, right? It means that if you are planning to transfer the data by using the TCP or TLS, you should be configure the network load balancer, right? And last one is the classic. Basically, choose the classic load balancer when you have an existing application running on the EC2 instance classic network. So basically, we are just configure our environment with the help of EC2 instance. That's why I'm just going to show you the practical with classic load balancer, and just click create, and it can give us option. So I'm just putting the name of demo load balancer. Okay, so it's our load balancer name, and no need to make any changes here. Just click next. Now it can give us a different option. It can give us an option of a security group. So you must not use default. You should be use the security group. That security group are created with your virtual machines. So we created security group name is Launch Wizard 6. That's why I'm just going to select is Launch Wizard 6 and click next. Again, in case of health check, we are not putting any index or file into our virtual machine. That's why I'm just going to access the data with the help of TCP protocol. So by using the TCP IP protocol, just click next. And the next panel, you need to configure the both virtual machine in the single load balancer. Just select the entire virtual machine in the single load balancer, click next, and last, just click on the review and create. So it will be take up to 3 to 5 minutes to configure the give the result. So load balancer is created, just click on the instances. See, we have a option load all virtual machines are out of service. So it will be take up to according to the standard of AWS, it required 300 seconds. So we need to wait up to 300 seconds. Within 300 seconds, we will be get a result. Our load balancer is ready to use because if we talking about the DNS, so we have a DNS, but unfortunately it cannot be perform the task because our virtual machine is not ready. So we are unable to get any result from load balancer. So we need to wait up to 5 minutes minimum. Once our virtual machines are ready to use means if it is converted into the in services, you are able to access the virtual machines data by using the single load balancer DNS address. So I'm just going to refresh 1 or 2 times, maybe it will be activated. Once it will be converted into the in service, yeah, now be connected with in services. Now you can check your load balancer DNS IP and refresh. Okay, I'm just going to copy it again, load balancer, and copy till.com. Just copy the DNS and paste into the any browser. Okay, I'm just going to select the another browser and paste here. Everything is okay. I need to check. Just refresh the panel again. All machines are in service. Okay, go to the description, and under the description you need to copy the load balancer DNS address. See, now we are able to access our data with the help of DNS address of load balancer. So now we are just hitting the web server 1, refresh. Now we are getting information from web server 2. A single load balancer address, a single load balancer DNS address can fetch the data from both server. Those servers are we successfully attach in the backend of our LB. So now I'm just going to check into the another wizard as well, like it's another uh, web web browser as well. So now it can access the data from web server 1. And if I'm just going to refresh it, this is web server 2, means a single DNS can access the data, a single DNS can fetch the data from the backend server. Those servers we are attached successfully in the backend. Okay, so as per the diagram, we got our result, right? So it's a really important for each and every cloud architect who just start working uh, with Amazon Web Services and want to be a good cloud architect. So this particular services is really helpful to manage like as a real scenario. So now I'm just going to open the portal and check how many services we completed till. So if you just open the portal and EC2 dashboard, so load balancer is okay. Now we completed the task of load balancer. So as per the requirement, this is the basic requirement to create the load balancer kinds, and you should be use the procedure, you should be follow the procedure, and definitely you will be get a result. I hope you understand about the configuration part of load balancer. Now, thanks for watching. Thank you so much.